The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
There's a girl, she's a star, she's got style, Steffi Star, you see her face around the town, she's popular, Steffi Star.
Hi.
That's Steph.
Hi,
Two.
Meredith, we're on air. Hi, I'm Stephanie Weinstein.
I'm Meredith Keach.
Hi, Mer.
And we're here today with
Drum roll, please.
Bob Keach.
Bob Keach.
Like, you don't, wait a minute, Meredith Keach?
Yeah.
Bob Keach.
Yep.
Who's the odd man out?
Steph.
Right. Are you guys related?
We are.
How?
Her dad was my first cousin.
So that makes
Attorney
me the second or
Keach?
third.
My second cousin. Yes.
Second cousin.
Was your first cousin?
Correct.
Yeah.
So you shared the same parent. What?
So my dad's brother was her grandfather.
Yeah. So, but the key point
Big
is
difference
his dad,
in age.
19 years.
Why?
I don't
My
know.
my
I've
father
asked.
wasn't oops.
Oh, that's like you and Joanne
I
have.
want to say
now.
that my grandmother was like 47 when she had him, and
Whoa.
my father was 52.
Whoa.
God bless.
So her grandfather was, I think it was 20 years, right?
Yeah.
19 or 20 years
Yeah.
between them.
Yeah.
So everyone thought that your father was my uncle
Oh, right.
because there was probably 18 years between us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys are second cousins.
Correct.
Yeah.
So your children are my third cousins, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you
I
do
think
it?
so. I think so.
I missed the whole removed. Is anybody
Yeah.
removed?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
You're my second cousin once removed, then
Yeah.
added back in. Now you're my third cousin removed
I
twice.
think we all want to remove some cousins.
Right? Oh, that's for sure.
Present company excluded.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. So that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been so fun because Bob's doing the reno at our house.
Yeah.
And I get to talk to Bob Keach every day.
Yes.
It's been
Oh my God.
So much
and
fun.
Lots
Bob,
to talk about.
well, and Bob, you're very famous in
Yes.
the town of Easton,
Really?
Yes.
Massachusetts, as
Wow.
well as Meredith is very famous. So
Meredith's
I'm sitting
great.
with some two very famous people.
Yeah. Meredith's very popular in Easton.
Yes. And it's just every time somebody's looking for somebody to do some home remodeling or contract work, everybody puts your name.
Oh, I'm glad.
I don't know how
Glad to
you
hear that.
pick people. This is too much for one man.
Although, you know
It
what,
is.
you know
It's a
what my
lot.
kids said?
What?
They were like, your name is going away.
Whose name?
Keegan.
To
Ke-
who?
Keach. And I was like,
Said that to who?
it's me.
Your name's
He was
going
kind
away?
of trying to figure it out. And I was like, no, we still have Bob. And he had 3 boys. And
So-
he was like,
Oh, I see
We
what you're
we
saying.
actually talked about this the other day. So I have 10 grandchildren, and
Wait, can you back up? What did you just say?
I have 10 grandchildren. So there's 8 girls and only 2 boys. So my older son, Rob, lives in Mansfield. He has 2 boys. So they're the only ones that are going to
That's it.
Oh,
keep the name going.
And
Well,
when Bob and I go, the name in Easton's gone.
Yeah.
unless somebody moves back to Easton.
Correct.
My daughter lives in Easton, but
Yeah,
she has
his
hers.
name. Yeah.
Should she have kept her name like Meredith?
Well, it
But
would still
Meredith's
die
kids
with
are
her.
not.
It would
Right,
still
it's
die
not
with
right.
her because it's patrilineal.
We have the same thing with the Weinstein name. There's only Gregory, my son, and Joshua.
Yeah, when you kind of think about it, like from an older person's vantage
Oh,
point.
wait,
it's
sorry. There's
wild.
Vince. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be sad to see the name go. You know?
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, Meredith, Easton is your place.
Yeah, way it goes.
Imagine there won't be any more Keaches in Easton.
Yep, they're pretty
I
much
think a lot
are.
of people will be happy with that too. though.
Could be.
I remember
Yeah.
when my kids were in college or like high school age, we went on the Cape for a week, and when the kids got in college, they didn't want to come with us anymore. So my neighbors would be like, "Your kids had a bash here."
Of course they did.
Cars up and down the street.
Yes.
Just
That's what they do.
police.
They have
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
So
They
they
might
may,
have a good
they,
time.
they may be okay if
Maybe.
Keachers go away.
Yeah.
Honestly, Weinstein's no better. Who crashed into a police car the day she got her license? Alexa Katie Weinstein.
Love it.
And then she was doing shots with the officer years later.
Well,
Nice.
you know,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. He was so
moving
great.
on.
And then I went to his retirement party. They gave him a stuffed squirrel.
Yeah.
There's a whole story behind that. But
Small town
yeah,
stuff.
listen, hey.
Did you know
Good
Bob's
time.
originally from Canton, Karen Reed territory?
Oh boy.
Wait a minute. Did I show you guys this?
No.
You can keep talking while I look for
No.
it. You guys are gonna die.
Yeah.
So what do you think of all this, Bob?
You knew them, right?
I do. I know a
Yeah.
lot of them. Not close. I know Jen McCabe very well.
Oh, okay.
She was very good friends with my sister-in-law.
Oh, wow.
Oh, are you friends with her?
I haven't talked to her in years. It was when
This is
this
so
is
good.
30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
when
yeah.
when they were in high school, we used to like drive them around and
They're all townies. Everybody, right? Was
Yeah.
involved pretty much?
yeah. The Alberts I didn't really know that well because they went to a private school.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
They're younger than me too, but they know my brother-in-law and that my wife's side of the family.
Yeah.
But I hear so many stories about it. You don't know what to believe.
Nah, I don't
You know?
take one side or another.
Luckily,
And it has to be done again, right?
Yeah, they're gonna retry it. The case. Yeah, they're gonna open it up.
I'm
Oh,
just
wow.
glad that for now it's over because I wasn't working.
It was consuming some people.
Yeah. Yeah, I do work for a lot of people that are just
Who's that person?
It's Turtle
so
Boy.
into it. Oh yeah.
It's Alexa with Turtle
That's-
Boy.
Oh my god.
Stephanie's
wow.
daughter.
Where
Yeah.
was that taken?
It was just taken a couple days ago down the Cape.
Wow.
Adam. Oh wait, yeah. If you want to scan in, you can.
wow.
Yep. So she was like, Turtle Boy. And so that was it. So they got a photo together.
It's kind of wild how big that case got, isn't it?
Because
Yeah.
of him. He
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
he right?
Yeah.
But the world picked it up. Like, that's what's
Oh, yeah, it's
crazy to
national.
me.
Because
Yeah.
it's just so unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really look into it and listen to what happened, it seems like
I mean,
I don't
Meredith
want
and I-
to say anything.
Meredith and I are
that's
too
gonna get
scared
me
to
in
talk
trouble.
about it.
I'm kind of
People-
afraid to talk about it.
it's like
too.
Yeah.
talking about the presidential election. People
Right.
are like,
Yeah.
You can't talk
people
about
get
it.
offended.
Yeah.
You have to talk about it in closed circles only.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's why we can't discuss, but we can give each other eyes.
Well, I actually went to the Waterfall bar to watch the Bruins game with my friends, and when everybody at the bar, they would probably
Were they staring at you when
they were
you
all
walked in?
well, they were all talking about it.
know,
Everybody,
it was
that's all they were
everywhere.
talking about.
Yeah.
for
When
the
was
whole
this?
night. This was when the Bruins had lost the last game. So
Yeah, it was in the thick of it.
yeah,
Well, one of them would frequent Gourmet Garden often.
Oh. I mean, you know what? Whatever. Let's talk about construction.
Wait, when Tony and I walked into Waterfall, this was like when I all
nice
first
little
started.
bar.
We used to go there all the time, but so we walked in and the bar was packed, but there was no one at the tables, and we walked in and everybody was like whoosh, staring at us.
I was this
Oh, because
close.
they didn't know you.
I'm like,
I was this close to buying one of the condos right above
they're
it.
so cute.
So close.
That they're adorable. So
wish I
we
did.
left.
Because they were staring at you.
I'm like, why is everyone staring at us?
Yeah,
And I
'cause
really
you're not
did.
they know you're not from Canton.
Yeah, and I didn't really. And well, so then Alexa told me that
She's from
people,
Sharon.
Yeah.
I grew up in the ghetto, Sharon.
The ghetto. There's a ghetto in
I have street cred. I'm from Sharon. So Alexa told me that people were running into Waterfall and CF McCarthy's taking pictures and running out.
Right.
So maybe they thought that's what Tony and I were going to do.
So we went there with friends one night, and my friend looks like a cop. Everyone thinks he's a cop. He got the shaved head, the whole thing, right? And he's standing beside me at the bar, and this girl walks in and walks up to him, and she like gives him the finger and calls him an F-N-A.
What?
And then just walked through. And
Like,
I-
this is real. This is real life, folks.
so
I don't
I'm
know
like,
what to say.
I'm like, what was that all about? And he goes, I have no idea who that was. I have no idea why she did. I go, want me to go ask her? And he goes, no, don't ask her. And then he goes, she thinks I'm a cop.
Like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Have you been to D&E Pizza?
I never go there. I never went there even.
It's the windows are blacked out. You
Oh, are
can't-
they?
Yeah, you can't see in. And there's a chunky man that does sit
What's
in the
the
window.
address? What's the
It's
address?
like
It's right across from
It's
the
right-
waterfall.
yeah.
No, the address where the incident happened. I'm forgetting. Fairview.
Fairview.
Yes.
Wait, did you?
So we
drive-
have friends
Wait,
that come in town. People, it's like a spot. People go to these locations.
You don't
now.
have
And
to
the house
say it
has
on
been
air.
sold, so the poor people
Yes,
that live there now,
we
they
know.
have
Imagine.
traffic.
You don't have
Yeah.
to say. You can just give me a look.
Yeah.
Have either of you driven by?
No. No, I haven't.
I had to.
I did too.
I had to.
I had to do my own investigation.
I think they have
And I'll-
tours that people get on,
I'm
like
telling you, we have
buses that
friends that
drive
came to
down to
visit,
all the
and they're like,
And
hot
again,
spots.
We're going to Canton to go hit up all these spots.
Well,
Yeah.
again, I'm not saying anything, but I thought the lawn was going to be huge. Did you, Bob?
Yes, because all they talked about is how big the front yard is, and how much room was out there, and all the 50 feet he got thrown or whatever, or 30 feet, and it's the house is not far from the street.
Meredith, your front yard's twice as big
Yeah.
as that
Wow.
front
Right,
lawn. So I was shocked.
Yeah,
Shocked when I drove by.
yeah,
Tiny lawn.
yeah.
Crazy.
Unfortunately, no one saw.
And they painted the house.
Yeah.
And it was a hung jury. Is that what they call it?
No.
No,
No. On 2 accounts, supposedly it was not. They found her not guilty. And then one, they just weren't sure. And that one was the hung jury.
Jeez.
So, but they're starting from
They have to
square
do it
one
all
again,
over.
I think.
Wow.
It's bizarre.
yeah,
Anyway, let's talk construction.
yeah. Before we
We get in
end up-
trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's been the coolest thing working with Bob because you can just say, can you fix this? My kids actually talk about it. Shay brought it up. She was like, it's the coolest thing when you started. She was like, you could just have something broken and he can fix it.
Well, that's it.
That gives you an example of my house.
Some things can be fixed.
It's so
Are
exciting.
there a lot of broken things in Meredith's house?
Yes.
No, the house is actually in really good shape.
Oh, Mare.
Ah, well,
What about,
when you live in it, you feel differently.
have we figured out anything with the mudroom?
Yeah,
Yep.
we talked about it today.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Got it
So
resolved.
Meredith has, for all of those listening, she has
Yeah.
a long, narrow mudroom.
20 feet long, 55
It's a hallway.
inches.
It's
Yeah,
a hallway.
hallway.
Yeah, so it's long,
Yeah.
but not wide.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Meredith was trying to figure out she didn't know if she was going to take space in the garage or what she was going to do. So what did you finally decide?
Keep it the same.
We're not
All
gonna do
right.
anything
So
to it.
anyway, that's exciting.
And
Okay.
we're going
So
to spend the money that she saved on that on Braden's bedroom in the basement.
Yes. And flex room.
Flex large.
right, it's not really his
Can't call it a
bedroom.
bedroom.
No, people
Yep.
are on septic.
Yep.
It's
Correct.
flex rooms.
Bob is masterful at saying, when I say, can we do this? And he'll go, we can do that.
You can do anything.
He
Did
waits
you
a
say,
minute
but
and
it-
then he goes, and I watch every, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah, you can do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
Right, as long
Yeah.
as you have the money.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
We
money- Hmm.
kind of feel the same with home inspections. Like, you're
What do
like,
you mean?
everything can be fixed.
Oh
Right,
yeah, as long
right.
as you have money. But my
Yeah.
builder says the same thing. They go, "Can we do this?" He goes, "Sure. I'll let you know how much it is later."
Right. Later,
Yeah.
after
So-
it's done,
Well, no. So he goes home and he writes up a
Yeah.
price list, and
Right.
he's like, "Here
you
you
do.
go."
You're like, that
Yeah.
closet would cost you $6,000.
It's
And I was like,
shocking.
I don't think we
Right.
need to spend
No,
$6,000.
thank you.
I do math, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm not getting a return on that when I
Right,
go to
right,
sell
no.
this house
Right.
ever.
No.
So, and like you said, but this is an important learning because I've never been through a renovation like this of like these types of steps. Because when you're living in it, you kind of think from the outside, I got this covered. Until today, Bob was like, do you want the door opening this way or that way? And I was like,
What door?
a door coming in from the outside of the house. Just for example. I wanted a door there, but
So
I didn't think about like, do I want it this way? I'm like, well, why would I want it that way?
Your
and not
front
that
door?
way? No, you come in the mud into
in
the
from the
house.
mudroom.
Yeah. in
so there
from the
was a
mudroom.
door there before, and we took it out, and then she decided she wanted the door put back. So I put the door back.
This is what happens.
Can she do a pocket door?
Well, you can, but you have to remove everything that's in
All the
that part of the
casing
wall.
and- yeah.
That's the doors sliding into, and there's plumbing going up the wall or electrical. That all has to be moved. So you can do it, but again, do you want to?
Yeah.
Why did you want the door back?
We decided that it was no barrier for entry was uncomfortable.
And the smell of the hockey equipment come in.
Smell of the
Right.
hockey equipment.
That's a big one.
And
Can't
the-
she put that in the garage?
Yeah.
And the mudroom isn't like tight and insulated. So when we had the AC on, it just felt like it was going out. But it was more like, and I know my designer said, she said, you'll get used to it, but we didn't. And Sean felt it too, not having that barrier to come into the house
Right.
because you can't see. When people come in through the mudroom, you can't see. So all of a sudden someone just walks into your house.
Right.
And there's no like,
No
hey,
buffer.
No buffer.
So we did a a 15 light
Yeah.
glass door.
Which is
So
awesome.
you can still
Oh.
get light from that
Yeah.
room coming in, and
Yeah.
it makes the hallway lighter.
Yeah.
So it's and you can leave it open if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
But it's been awesome. But I'll tell you, it's a lot of mental work doing around.
Well, the
Yeah.
kitchen's hard.
They're the worst.
Wow.
Yeah,
Kitchens and bathrooms are
it's
the
so
worst.
hard because did you meet with a kitchen designer regarding drawers and
Yep.
cabinets and pullouts?
Yep. And he maps that all out. But you have to play a constant game of exactly like that. Like we took a door out only to put a door back. I'm glad with how that transpired. But
Did you put that on the? Are you charging her for that?
of course, you have to.
Double.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was thankful that the door fit in. I was like, oh my God, he redid this whole thing.
You could
and
have
he's
always
gonna have
put
to-
beads.
It's true.
One of those little old-fashioned accordion doors. Yeah. Your dad used to put them in the basement.
Yeah.
They're like cardboard.
I actually need one of those. Do
They're
they
really-
still make those?
I actually saw one the other day at Home Depot. They sell them again.
Oh, I need one.
They're like
where?
$20.
So upstairs on my second level, I have my washing machine and dryer. So my condo's 30 years old. In fact, the bathroom's never been redone in my bedroom. So the other two bathrooms have been redone, but for
It's the
some
same
reason,
age as my house.
yeah,
Mine's
for some
1990.
reason, so my cabinets are yellow with
35.
brown, and I have a yellow tub, and
Harvest Gold. Is that what it's called?
Why yellow?
yeah, Harvest Gold.
Why would they?
So anyway, but the laundry
Should be mauve.
upstairs. So I have a full size washing machine and dryer, and I have doors. One slides this way and one slides this way. So when you take the stuff out of the washing machine, the door is covering the
Right.
dry. So what I do is I take everything out of the washing machine and I throw everything on the floor.
Because back in the day, they did that. They did the sliding doors that just went like this.
Yeah.
Now the bifolds are actually better for laundry, but they fall off the track. and they're
Right.
kind
So
of a
I
problem,
might just
too.
get an accordion, or what I probably should do
curtain.
is get a full.
That's what a lot of people
size-
do. They do the curtain. They just do
Yeah.
a curtain.
I hate that.
A lot of
Yeah.
people do the curtain.
That is so.
well, my
ugly.
bifold
An
doors
old
where my
sheet.
laundry is in the basement.
I'm
I
gonna put up
literally
a
have to
sheet.
pick up the door and put it over here, and then pick up the other one and put it over here because they fell off the.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
I have to throw all my clean laundry on the floor, which drives Tony crazy. He's tall enough to be able to lift it, but I'm not. So I just throw it, and then I have to slide both doors over and then put it in the dryer.
Well, now, so
So-
if you had Bob come over, you'd be like, I have a problem here. It needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
But that's where the renovation part is tough because I'm like, Bob, what do I do? And
Yeah.
you like mentally have to try to figure this out and advance a few steps to figure out, is this going to be right or is it not going to be right?
Right.
Because we kind of have a vision. I mean, it's a lot.
Well, so it's a lot, so I end up doing nothing. I really have to renovate.
That's actually, it happens a lot.
Yeah,
You
I
get
have to-
overwhelmed. You just give
I'm
it up.
overwhelmed.
Yes,
Well, the
yeah.
other thing too. So
I think there's a name for that.
But Meredith has a beautiful single family home in a beautiful town, right?
Correct.
So she's good. So she's just
Yeah.
adding value to her place.
But we
Agreed.
could
But you could.
some of the
You
things
could.
we were done.
but
You could.
but overdoing is you're not overdoing.
Agreed.
I don't think with a kitchen, you're spending a lot in your kitchen, obviously, but I don't think you can really put yourself out of the game with that.
Right. So,
Agreed.
but I'm different. So I live in a condo in Stoughton, and my condo association's in disarray, but not for long because
You're devaluing your.
I've
complex
taken
right
over.
now.
No, I've taken over,
Oh,
and
that's right. That's
now
true.
we are.
She brought in attorneys.
I brought in
like
the-
as far as you're talking about the condo committee.
Yes,
See, I don't work for condos for that reason.
Okay, it was BAD. I had to
They're the
call in
worst.
the big guns,
She
Stephen
literally-
and Jake Marcus.
They're known as the gods of condo
Yes,
law.
I had to call them in, and now we hired a new condo association. We have them writing up some new rules and regulations that we needed to put in place, and now we're going to be fabulous.
Good.
But the thing is, again, I'm still in a condo, and I'm in the back, of Knowlesbrook, so I have to be careful
I mean,
what I
condo
spend.
prices
Oh, okay.
though are through the roof.
But Meredith, we spoke about this, and
Yeah.
this is true.
Yeah.
A condo is not necessarily cheaper; it's more convenient.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
And that's what it is, and that's what we have to keep telling our buyers.
Right.
Because my condo fees are going up about $1,000
It's a
month.
really great
and that's
lifestyle, though.
honestly not. That's a lot of the condo associations are close to that now. So but you don't have to mow, you don't have to shovel, you don't have
True.
you don't have to paint, you don't have to
Well, it
take
costs
care
for
of your
those
siding.
services.
You don't have to do your roof,
Yeah.
right? Because
Right.
we're paying into that.
Right.
So it's not cheaper; it's just
Lifestyle.
more convenient. It's but
It's
kind
a
of a
trade-off,
lifestyle.
but
do I really
that's a
have.
lot of money, though.
Well, now I want to move. So my friend just moved into Boston. She drives her car, and they take it. They park it for her, And then when she comes, if she goes food shopping or whatever, they immediately get her bundles. She never has to carry anything up. All her Amazon packages are brought up to her apartment and put in her door.
Wow.
Yeah. So
800 square feet.
800 square feet. But you know what? She's managed. She had a bedroom.
She went from what, 25?
Yep. And the bedroom, she had taken her second bedroom, made it into a closet. That was like a store.
Yeah.
You walked in and you were just like,
It was huge.
Where is she in Boston?
Beacon Hill, I thought.
she can walk to she's at one, I forget, Sorelina restaurant. She's above that. She can walk to the mall. That I'm aging.
Anyway, Beacon Hill.
Like the South Bay?
They're little places.
No, she can walk to the Italy. She can walk to the
okay.
She's
Prue.
there.
The Prue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have two who live in Southie.
Oh yeah.
They own homes.
Ooh.
And they bought them years ago.
Are they near each other?
Pretty
Well,
close.
Southie's pretty small,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they're pretty close. 10-minute walk.
Nice.
But the thing when you go to Southie is you drive around for a half hour looking for a parking.
I remember that.
Okay,
So
this
we
is
park
my
at the
biggest pet
Where do you park?
peeve.
I park at the school. So,
yeah.
one of my sons lives on G Street. So the high school's at the top of his street. So I'll just park there. And my other son lives on Grime Street in the west side. And he's got I think it's an elementary school in between West 7th and West 8th. There's a school on Dorchester Street.
Yeah.
We park there, and it's 2 minutes to his house.
Yeah, but what do they do in the winter?
So that's the thing. They don't seem to have a problem with it.
Because they're young. They don't care.
They put a lawn chair out when it snows.
Right.
and
Don't
Yeah.
Put
care.
their fists up.
Yeah, it
ready
doesn't
to
bother.
fight
They don't
anybody.
talk about it. It doesn't like when I go in
Because
there.
they're guys.
It
They don't
infuriates
care.
me.
Right.
I don't know. They have
But they-
wives and kids.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they're married
I
with
would
kids.
be having a fit.
Yeah. That
If
would be
there
hard
is
for me.
one thing
Yeah.
I won't go anywhere if there's no parking.
They honestly, they do, it's not an issue with them. It really isn't.
You know why? They're not Jewish.
It could be.
Because if I told my mother that, and I would say they don't care, there's no parking, they could drive around for an hour. Why is that, mother? She would say, because they're not Jewish. And you know what? She's right. No Jew would ride around for hours looking for a parking
my
space.
God.
It's not heard of.
Well,
I must
feel
have
like I'm
some
part
Jew in
Jewish.
me then.
Me
because
too.
I don't like driving around for an hour either.
Well,
No.
Meredith's married to a part Jew.
That's
yeah,
right.
we talked about that last week.
Have you done your 23andMe? 'Cause
I haven't.
You might have some Jew in you too.
I probably do.
Well, there you go. You kind of look a little Jewy.
I do. I'm told that a lot.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I do look
There
a
you
little
go.
Jewy. I'm actually, we're Norwegian, right?
Yeah.
Swedish,
Yeah.
Scottish.
So
Yeah.
you think.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's why no one in my family has done this. And I'm a little.
Yeah, I'm actually afraid
wait a
to now.
minute. Yeah, I'm like,
Well,
Yeah.
it is a little scary. Some guy contacted me. He's like, hello. I'm like, hello. He's like, so we're really connected. I'm like, we are? He's like, it seems to be somebody in the family may have had an affair. I'm like, oops. And so I don't know who it was. And I'm like, you should call my mother. But for some reason they never connected. So this poor man knows his father was Jewish. We're related. So somebody impregnated somebody.
yeah.
Interesting.
I know. And my other friend found her aunt. She didn't know she had an aunt, and the aunt didn't know either.
Yeah.
Apparently
people come
her
out.
grandfather had some fun. And so she has another aunt.
You know, I thought that we were like the only Keaches in the country.
Yeah. Same.
You know, it's not a very common name.
No.
But I went to an Irish wedding in San Jose, California, friends of ours, and there was probably 100 people from Ireland, Derry and Dublin, and they were all saying that your name is very popular in Ireland.
Really?
Yeah. So I actually, if you Google Keach,
Yeah.
there's an attorney, James Keach, or something in Boston.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I think Bill did, and my dad did the history. They dug back as far as they could go. I think they went like 7 generations. Like I don't know why that number comes up.
I will be buying you a kit.
I have a kit. It's in my closet.
You would
I will
never
not
do a
do
kit.
it. No.
There's no way you would ever
Hang
do a
my
kit.
DNA up.
Oh,
with some
you don't want
company.
to. You don't want to know.
No, I don't want to give
She
my
doesn't want her
DNA
DNA
out
out there.
Oh,
Why
oh.
are you afraid of your DNA being out there?
because I'm being a conspiracy theorist.
Oh.
I don't want it out
Some
there.
crazy shit went on years ago.
I'm like, I don't need that tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was another scenario that came up that I can't even talk about.
Yeah, they come up. My
But
girlfriend,
they went back in the records and when they used to go house to house and write down like who's
Yeah.
the head of the household.
Yeah.
So some interesting shit just came
Well,
up.
think about it. That's probably why there was buried about having Jewish ancestry, right? I mean, we had the Holocaust in our history,
Yeah.
right? So you're not going to say, I am, right? Then it causes problems.
What, saying you're Jewish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So I get why certain cultures
My
are
mother told me
persecuted.
never to wear a Jewish star.
Well, there you go.
My kids, Alexa wears one. I just bought my new daughter-in-law one. She converted. I said, thank God, we need you.
You know, I work in Sharon a lot, and you can explain this to me. When on the doorway,
Mezuzah,
what does it mean?
it's just a portion of the Torah. It's a scroll from the Torah inside, and it's good luck. So if you're Jewish, you're supposed to tap it and give your hand a kiss when you leave and come in. It's good luck.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's nice to buy somebody a mezuzah if they're Jewish and
Okay.
to put in their doorway, and they can put it in any doorway.
Have you seen them?
Oh, yeah, I know it's a mezuzah.
Okay, you know all about it.
I do.
Maybe you are Jewish.
I might be.
No, well, she did tear when I gave her gefilte fish.
It was,
We were actually doing
it was a tough moment.
We
for
were
me.
doing an ECAT when we were on cameras fully with the show, and she's like, "Just one thing, don't ever surprise me." I go, "Oh, I won't." So that day, I surprised her. I brought out some gefilte fish for her to try because we had
extra
on
gel.
Marty.
Yeah.
Marty was a fellow Jew, so we were kind of having a Jew day.
We were supposed to have the rabbi, but the rabbi didn't come.
Oh, so I gave her gefilte fish, and then the camera went in tight because Meredith had a small tear
She goes, let me give you some extra gel.
coming
on this."
down.
Was it spicy?
And I was like,
No, it's
in
not
my mind, I'm
spicy.
like, I can't insult anybody and not eat this, but I can't eat it. I can't get
It
it,
was
in my mouth.
delicious.
Not your thing.
Oh,
So good.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had it.
I didn't
You
try
haven't
it.
had it?
No.
It's so good. But I think you have to.
It's an
be brought
acquired
up on
taste.
it.
Right.
I mean, I
Yeah.
eat oysters, so
Yeah.
there's that.
There's
Same
no taste
thing.
to that at all, though.
The oysters?
Not
No,
really.
you
It's
have
all
to
what you
put
put
it.
on
texture.
it.
You got to, right. It's the stuff you put on. And you
Yeah.
can't get the big ones. Those are disgusting.
Agreed.
They make me want to gag.
Yeah.
So before you have an oyster, you have to say, are they small, big, or medium?
Yeah.
The Duxbury oysters are delicious.
Yeah, they are.
They're supposed to be the best, right?
Yes.
The guy that owns that was from Merrimack in North Andover, where my kids went to college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I graduated from there.
Took a big leap of faith, didn't he? Like he bought some of the oyster seeds
Yeah, I did.
and created this
That
big
is so
business.
smart.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really amazing when people take. I have a friend whose business is just exploding. He was just texting me the other day. He makes men's grooming products. We got to have him on. And he's been working hard for a few years now. And it's like something you see on Shark Tank. And I was just texting him. I'm like, hey, I did some post tags for him. I'm like, I don't see your social. He's like, oh, I've been on a little hiatus. He said, I finally got financing. And they're pairing up with someone who does Black Rifle Coffee because he's a veteran. And so it's a veteran operated business. And they've hired a marketing company. And it's like, it's now taking off.
Fun. I love
So
that.
exciting.
We love good stories like
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
it's amazing.
That's great.
Bob, what would you do if you weren't doing carpentry and being the number one carpenter in the town of Easton where
Yeah.
people can't even hire you barely?
Well,
Barely.
back in the day,
Oh, I do have someone gave me a business card the other day. He's like, you're related to Bob. I'm like, he's doing my reno. He goes, oh, I've been trying to get him. He goes, will you give him my business card? It's on my desk. I got to give
really,
it to you.
is he from Easton?
You've done all his family. So let me just back up and say, Bob was going to start our renovation in March of 2020. And then we got locked down and everybody was working from home. And I said, Bob, I got 3 kids and a husband working from home. We can't do it. And he said, okay. And then for 4 years,
That's
the
fine.
world got weird. And finally I was like, Bob, I called and I said, you're doing all of our clients' work and everybody sings your praises and you've renovated all these houses that we've sold and I need mine. And he goes, oh my God, Joanne's been telling me I got to get back over there.
Well, you know what?
I'd go
The boss.
drop off beer.
Listen.
Yeah, Joanne's the boss.
You
She
gotta
tells me where to
wait.
go.
You gotta wait 4 years for Bob.
That's exactly it. I mean, it's like you can't get Bob.
I mean, Bob,
you know
most
what?
people are like dying for work.
Yeah.
You have so much work. You
Yeah.
are so
I
talented.
do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I do have a lot of work.
But what would you do if you weren't doing this?
So, like I was going to say, back in the day, back
Yeah.
at Canton High School, I was grooming myself to be an architect. I was taking architectural drawing, engineering, and I was my thoughts were go to Wentworth, blah, blah, blah. And then I was working for my neighbor, Bill Gottwald, who you probably know.
Yep.
God rest his soul. He just
Yep.
passed away a couple of months ago. But he was a contractor. He did residential remodeling. And I was like, I don't know, 15. And I worked for him after school and summers. And I loved it.
Ah,
And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to sit in an office and draw,
Right.
because I'm not good at that. I need to
Move.
move all the time. So,
Well, I'll tell you this. My daughter-in-law to be, she graduated with a degree in architecture.
wow.
Guess what? She's working with the elderly. So she got a job in an architectural firm, and she's so sweet. They were so mean to her. They were like, why do you smile all the time?
Oh, what a horrible thing, huh?
She's like, what?
Because I'm happy.
Then she came to me. She goes, I think I have a gluten allergy. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I'm dizzy all the time. I go, Olivia, you don't have a gluten allergy. You have stress. Quit that job right now. And anyway, she ended up quitting. And she's had a couple jobs, whatever. And she landed in, she's now working with the elderly at this place called Elderwell. And you drop your parents off at 8 and you pick them up at 4.
Perfect.
Oh, it's like daycare.
It's daycare for your parents.
Wow.
So they're actually going to be franchising, and they absolutely love her. And they just had a phone call with her, and they said, we want to bring you on full time. You are a very special person.
That's great.
And so she is
I'm going to tell Ace I'm going to drop her off.
happy. Ace needs to be
I'm
dropped
going to drop
off.
you off at Elderwell.
Yeah, and you'll pick her up at 4.
It's funny that you say that she went to school for architecture and then she's doing something completely
Yeah.
different, because my son went to school to be an eye doctor.
Yeah.
Became an eye doctor, worked as an eye doctor, and then COVID hit and it got slow and he started flipping houses, and then he hasn't stopped. Now he's building houses in Cohasset.
An eye doctor flipping houses.
Yeah.
So-
But he also was Bob's son. So Bob
Right.
Keachin's son.
But he builds
knows
houses
how to
now,
do
and he
how to
buys
make things.
property, and he's,
Wow.
he's a landlord now,
Yeah.
so he's doing really good.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
4, 3 boys and a girl.
Now, does Marissa know how to make things too?
She's actually really, really, really good.
I bet.
She's really, really talented. Like I did a house years ago in Middleborough, and it was in the summer, and she had nothing going on. So I said, "You want to come to work?" And she said, "Yeah, I'll come to work." So I had her hanging sheetrock, tape it in
Love it.
compound and seams. She was good at it.
Yeah.
Really good at it.
Yeah.
So she's really good. She's talented. She can build
Yeah.
stuff.
So all these guys know how to do this.
Wait, she brought, what's her first little baby's name?
Kinsley.
Kinsley. She brought Kinsley into the office, and Alexa was there, and Linda was there, and Linda's like, Kinsley.
Linda's
and
around.
Kinsley, yeah, right. And Kinsley looks at Linda, she's like, "Ah." So then Alexa goes, Kinsley. And Kinsley holds her arms out to Alexa. And that Alexa was in her glory. Linda was livid. It was a shining moment in my life. It was hysterical.
Now, have you seen little Kennedy?
No.
The baby?
No.
Oh,
she
she's
needs to bring. Is Kennedy a girl?
Yes, she has 2 girls.
Kinsley
so it's all girls.
and Kennedy.
So cute.
They're both
I need to see
adorable.
those girls
They're
stat.
so
So
cute.
She needs to bring them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love when the little kids come into the office. It makes us happy.
Yeah, I'm meant to text her and say, when have you
Yeah.
been?
But that was like one of the greatest moments when Kinsley looked at Linda and started crying.
Okay, you want to
Sorry,
hear?
Linda. I call her Linda.
I
Linder.
want to
Linder.
set you up for when you have grandkids.
Okay. I still need a name.
Bob and Joanne
Yeah.
just took care of 3
That's not going to happen.
of their grandchildren for 10 days.
That is never, ever. Alexa
Yeah,
and
my
Gregory,
my
are you
son, the eye
listening?
doctor, went to Greece with his wife.
It
so
is
we
the
watched
most
their kids.
amazing gift they could have ever given their kids.
Wow.
Like that
It
is
was- it was
just
great. It was fun.
incredible.
How old?
Millie's 11 and Layla's 6 and Ruby is 3. All
Ruby.
girls. Again, all
Ruby.
girls.
Is that the cutest name?
Ruby's
I mean,
the
all the
baby.
kids' names are so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a Pippa too.
A Pip.
That's a cute name. isn't
Pippa? That's
Pippa.
like
That's
Pepper?
Doug's, right?
it? Not Peppa. Pippa. She doesn't like Pepper either. Pippa.
Wait, doesn't
Pippa's
the Duchess have a
yes,
sister
Yes.
Pippa?
Yes.
Yeah, she was hot
Yeah.
at their wedding.
Middleton?
Oh, yeah.
Is it
Everybody was-
Middleton?
She
Yeah,
stole
she
the
was.
show.
She put out the train, and
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Who is
Yeah,
that?"
Yes.
Pippa stole the show.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
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 Pippa's my son Jeff's
Oh,
daughter.
Jeff's-
Jeff and
Jeff's
Liz's
cute.
daughter. They live in Southie.
Okay, can you name all your 10 grandkids' names?
Oh,
Starting
you put
from
me
the
on the
top.
spot now.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Millie, Bobby, Hadley, Pippa, Layla, Lola, Kinsley, Kennedy. I'm missing one.
Robbie's youngest.
Oh my God, Jack. How can I forget Jack?
That's only 9.
There's another one.
Oh, Ruby.
Ruby.
Yeah.
I can't. So to answer your question, no, I can't.
That is so
See, my wife, she sees it, she's going to kill me.
Listen, I put him on the spot. It's
I
not
should
his
have
fault.
I should have gone by family.
You should.
Yeah.
You have to go by family.
I should have gone by family.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah,
I-
that was amazing.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
You're in
amazing? So
trouble.
I told you I have Alzheimer's.
And they all get together regularly too.
Yeah, we see each other a lot.
Oh, I love that. I love a big family. I've got no one, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
That was like Tony's family is gigantuous. So the so not his grandfather, but his mother, his sister's father-in-law just passed. So we just went to, the Cape Verdean funeral and wake. You have to hug everybody.
Yeah.
And you can't just leave. First, Tony goes, first we went through the wake line. Okay. Then Tony goes, I'm going to go through again. I go, okay. So he goes through again. And then he goes, all right, we have to leave. So we have to go through again. I go, what?
Wow. A lot of hugging.
But so I said to his brother-in-law, do we really have to come through again? He goes, no, you do not. But I go, Tony made us.
I mean, at a certain point, you're just standing there
well,
like this.
but that's not it. I had to hug every single person that was in the hall.
Wow.
My arms are actually sore today from the hugging. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of hugging going on.
Yeah.
But
But it was a celebration because he was mid-90s, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was amazing, handsome.
Hmm.
Yeah, came over from Cape Verde and made a life for himself here in America.
What good for
Did
him.
very well. Yep.
My neighbor across the street from me, Sonny Peeney, he's Cape Verdean.
Oh, yeah, Sonny. Because he used to be my neighbor. I was on Acorn
That's
Road.
right. So he owned
Sonny.
Sonny.
How old is Sonny now?
83.
Wow.
Sonny would come over with a cigarette. He goes, hi, honey.
So he doesn't
Right?
smoke or drink anymore. He's
What? He quit?
Quit everything. He had diverticulitis. Got really sick. He was in
Oy.
the hospital. And
But
then he
he's a-
came out and he's like, no more drinking, no more smoking. He just quit cold turkey. So
Does he still
now,
talk like
he
this?
does. He has that voice. Calls me Robert.
Yeah.
Robert.
Rabbit. And then his dog runs all over the
So
neighborhood.
now he has 3 little yippies.
and they
'Cause
run all over.
It's terrible. So he has electric fence, but they still get out. But the dog before that, he had a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
And it used to come over my house and bite me. And bit my relatives,
Oh,
bit
sweet.
everybody.
Bob also had a dog who we
Sweet.
would find in the street regularly
Yes,
too.
Lucy.
This
Well,
is
my
a
dogs,
Chestnut Street thing.
my dogs ran away. Rosie was running down Chestnut Hill like a drunken sailor. She didn't know what to do because Sparky ran away.
I remember when you lived there. That's
Remember?
right. I forgot
Yeah, I
about
lived on
that.
Acorn Road.
Up in the corner there.
Yeah. Yep.
Aaron and Luca built that neighborhood.
He did.
Right? I
Yeah.
see him
Just
in,
not all the houses. Some of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I work up there a little bit.
Do you?
A little bit. Nice people up there.
Yeah. Meredith was the buyer agent for my house.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
That was weird.
Jason and I were getting a divorce.
I was like, I'm going to sell your house. And she was like, okay, that's weird. And I
Yeah. She's like, well, I have the buyer. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very nice people. I
Yeah.
just sold a house on Scarlet.
Okay.
The Millers.
It's cluster housing, right? Is that what they call it?
It is not cluster
not?
housing.
Okay, sorry.
Bah, bah. We do have an HOA though. So
Okay.
our HOA is with us and the street over Lilac.
Really?
Yeah. Not Lilac. Who's the
Yeah,
street
Lilac's
next to
beside me.
No, what's the street next to me?
No,
Do
Acorn?
and do.
Flower,
No.
Scarlet,
No,
Acorn.
no,
Oak Leaf.
No.
Oak Leaf.
It's
Oak
on-
Leaf. Oak
no.
Leaf Lane.
Oh yeah, you're
Oak
right.
Leaf
Oak
Lane.
Leaf. That's right.
Because
So
they
we
were supposed to join those out back, and they never did.
They never did. When I was living there, we had a shared HOA. And so that takes care of the big middle part and whatever else. But Oak Leaf was pissed because they didn't have what we had. It was a whole thing, Bob.
See, I didn't have any issue with those neighborhoods going in Lilac Lane and
Why?
Oakwood.
Who did?
A lot of people
On
have
Chestnut?
a lot of people. My daughter just built on
Godspeed.
Goodspeed,
Goodspeed. Sorry.
and nobody wanted it.
But because this is, you go down these old country roads, but there's no land. And if you want to build a new subdivision, you have to go down these old,
Right.
Roads.
And people do have a choice. They can buy the land.
Well, when we first moved there 37 years ago, my friends were like, "Why do you live there? Why?"
It was
why?
so
It's like they thought they
remote.
were like going like on a 4-hour tour. It was like
I know.
people get lost leaving my house.
I know.
It was. They thought it was the most awful thing in the world. Now it's like
There were only
It's
like
beautiful.
10 homes on like a 2-mile stretch of
it
road.
was a
Well-
dirt road at one time.
Wow.
Well, half the road still doesn't have town water.
Right.
Well, we were supposed to buy in Tanglewood, and something I'm so glad we didn't. Something happened, and then Jason and I were driving around town, and then at that time the farm was still open and the horses were out at Clover,
Oh, yeah.
and Jason's like, "Wow, this is so beautiful. It's like you're in New Hampshire."
You loved your neighborhood too.
And so then oh my God, I'm still friendly with all the original people that moved in there. We had so much fun.
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
cool.
So much fun. It was a great place for the kids to grow up. They didn't think so. They're like, we're closer to Mansfield High than we are to OA.
It's true.
Yep. And I'm like, oh, you're right.
Yeah. I remember when I first bought there, I woke up on a Sunday morning with the windows open. I'm like, what does that smell? It was cow manure. Because the Wilburys had cows then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now they have not milking cows, they have steer or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Beef.
They had horses for a while.
Oh.
It was beautiful with the horses.
Well, they used to, yeah. They don't. I don't think they do that anymore either.
No, I don't think so.
But Todd just did the field over.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Wait,
Yeah.
so did you grow up with Kim Tozy?
She's younger than me too.
Oh, okay.
But I
Kim
know
is
I know of her.
Kim and Bernoni.
Oh,
Yeah,
She went to
she's my neighbor, so I know her
Right.
from that. And her sister was a Tepper.
Jill.
Yes, so I did work for them. They used to live.
Yeah.
live in Chestnut Knoll.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hmm.
So
Awkward silence.
That was weird stuff.
what?
Awkward silence.
Well, I was just trying to think of people from Canton.
Oh.
That's why there was
Mm-hmm.
the silence. I'm trying to think of more people.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
I think that
got it.
family owned Paul's Distributors, something like that.
They did.
Right?
Yeah. Kim's son is a
138.
pilot now.
Her son is.
Yeah,
Wow,
Brett.
really? Good
Little
for him.
Brett.
That's
Meanwhile,
great.
little Brett's like 6'4".
Yeah, he was big. I remember him when I was younger. He played football. He was a big kid.
Yep. He wants to be a pilot, and he is a pilot now for Delta.
Good for him. Good for him.
I love when kids' dreams come true.
Yeah, that's great.
I have
So
a
what's
client
the-
who did that.
What being
He
a
was in
pilot?
finance, in like high stress finance, and he always wanted to be a pilot.
Ugh.
Who?
So a client of mine, and so they reached out to me. They lived in a big house in Easton, and they said, he's gonna
Go to North
Renee's
Dakota?
he's gonna work on his dream. So they sold the big house in order to put them in a more comfortable position. Sold him a smaller house in Easton, and he became a pilot, and that's what he does now.
Folks, this is what it's about.
It's awesome.
Wait, I want to know, what is the number one renovation right now?
Kitchens.
Just still kitchens.
Kitchens
And what's
are-
in? I know Meredith's doing all white. Is that still very popular?
It is. People are going with the white oak now too.
Yeah.
That's popular.
Yeah.
I like it. It's nice.
Yeah, I think
my
it's
son
pretty.
just did his house in South. He did white
I think
oak.
that's what I would do. And
White
then,
Oak Island. I'm sorry.
but you're doing some white oak. You're putting the hood, right? Is going to be in white oak.
We're going back and forth on
Yeah,
that.
that's another one that I still mentally am
Yeah.
not on.
What about if you did white oak with some white on the front to
Well,
tie it in?
it's kind of nice to have like a little strip. So I found a picture of something, but I want to tell everybody. I was showing Bob this morning the mudroom. Get an AI app. It's incredible. You can download them for free, and you post your picture of your room, and it redoes your room.
It is
Well,
pretty cool.
So what did you come up with now from
Nothing.
AI?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh. So that's a good thing that
Yeah.
you have that,
It's a
Meredith.
great
Yeah.
thing to have. But
Now I'll be calling it the mud hall.
Well, we have done a lot of things. We put a door at the end of it. There'll be some steps that go down out into the backyard. So
how you doing with those?
Just communicating with him this morning.
Who are you using?
Cody Pickering.
Oh,
So I said,
does he have the cast? Does he have the?
You're gonna do marble, aren't you?
Oh.
Or no?
granite steps?
Granite.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not
and
marble. What am I
And so I
thinking of?
said, okay, we can do that, but you have to fix my fire pit and my wall.
And what did he say?
They were like, fine.
Oh, okay, perfect.
They just, there's nothing major wrong, but it was just in the construction, whatever. They just need little tweaks, but I can't do it myself.
There needs to be some type of a pulley system. Like the hockey bag thing is driving me crazy.
Yeah.
You
I don't
know,
think that there's
We
a
used to be
strong
friends when I
solution.
was a little girl, and it was 4 boys. They lived in Cambridge. It was my father's best friends. They all played hockey. 4 boys.
You know what was the best mudroom
But
I've
they
ever
lived in a
seen?
triple decker.
It's the problem is the odor.
Yeah.
Right. So we.
That's a very distinctive smell.
Yeah.
Well, is there some type of a pulley thing that you can put them on and then pulley the thing
They
back
won't
up
do
to
it
the
though.
top of the
But
garage?
you know what was the best mudroom I ever saw?
Problem
was,
is if you put them in the garage in the winter, they won't dry.
Oh, right. They
won't
and
dry.
it's gonna
Yeah.
they'll freeze actually.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an issue.
But the best mudroom was, the people on Gwaine. I sold the house to friends of mine, but they were in the food industry with Yasu.
Yeah.
That house.
Clean.
Yeah. So you'd go in them. I think it was a 3-car garage. It was a massive house, but you can go into the garage where mine you can only access through the garage doors, but you could go in and then there was a huge mudroom with a laundry and closets and all types of stuff. And then you come into the house and a mudroom is the most underrated room in New England.
Yeah.
It's so important.
You're putting your kitchen in the front of the house?
Yep.
Do you really need the eating area
What do you mean?
in the kitchen?
I
I'm
have
still a wreck
seating for
about
one.
I'm still a wreck about your whole mudroom and the equipment.
I know.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Can she put on a small addition?
That's what I was just gonna say. You
Put on a
put
small
an addition on the back of the house.
How many
and put
feet? 4 by 6?
You don't need a
I
little
don't even
shed,
know.
a little shed, and put an electric heat out there.
Can you
so the
please
stuff
put
will
on a
stay
hockey
warm.
shed?
I have a shed.
No, you're not putting your hockey equipment in there.
It's not going to work. I'm going to be like, kids, you have to walk to the back of the house in order to drop your hockey bag.
Put it on the side of the garage, right side of the garage.
Right side of the garage, your hockey equipment goes in there. It's a,
Boom.
you know what?
Problem solved.
Meredith always says no.
I'm gonna be there
It's
for
gonna-
years. Never
I
leaving.
mean, well, the other thing is like he's kind of my nephew. He played so much hockey, and then he got to high school. He's like, I'm done. And
can
they
happen.
Got
they
burnt
had
out.
spent thousands and thousands of dollars on equipment and
Yeah.
everything. The
But your
best of
kids,
the best.
you got hockey in their blood. They're not gonna quit.
Well, he ended up being he's a wrestler, and so he was not coach, captain of his wrestling team, and he captain of his football team.
Wow.
Yeah, and now he's in Italy. So he went to Italy for his first semester of college. Imagine his roommate got so homesick, he had to fly home from Italy. He's done.
I will say it's for their mental health, it's an incredible sport. To see having kids have 3, at least from an early age, 3 solid hard workouts a week.
Yeah.
I mean, you did that with your kids. They all had hard exercise.
Right.
And it's so good for them.
Yeah.
They don't,
Good to keep them busy.
good
Look
to
at
keep 'em
this.
busy. Oh.
So this is my brother-in-law that my sister's married to. He just started the first ever all women's golf team at Bentley
wow.
College.
Nice.
So cool.
He said it doesn't make sense that this is a business school. He said business and golf go hand in hand.
Great idea.
So he said, what about a women's team? And they said, by golly, oh gosh, you're right.
By
And
golly,
he-
oh gosh.
Title
Yeah.
IX also told them, by golly, by gosh, that's right.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he's not able to attend my son's wedding.
Oh, bummer.
Wow. Do you know that Larry Kelly was a Bentley guy? He worked there for years. Lived in your neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
Larry.
I love Larry and Janet. You
Yeah.
know Larry and Janet.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
Janet.
Oh, Janet. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
Janet.
Janet. Yeah.
Yeah.
She walks all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. She walks and they have a son, Lawrence.
Yep.
I love Larry Kelly.
I do
Nice
too.
guy.
Great guy.
Oh,
Great guy.
yeah.
So he retired now.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
He's
So
probably.
he walks in the morning. I see him walking.
Oh, does he?
Mm-hmm.
Bob, you won't retire.
No,
That's good.
There's no such thing.
I don't.
In Japan.
I don't do well.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna
Right.
just scale it down a little bit. Maybe take Mondays and Fridays off as when I hit like 70. Maybe if I make it to
Well, the
70.
other thing too is you can consult.
True.
Yeah.
I have to stay hands on though. I'm not like.
Yeah.
I'm not good
You
at
don't
like.
trust people.
True.
Let's trust
Let's get into
issues.
my issues.
Let's,
I have so many
Let's
of
get
them.
into your issues.
Yeah, there's
What's
a
your
lot of
number
them.
one issue?
Yeah.
Well, that'll
Another
be
show.
You got to bring his kids in for that.
Right.
Yeah, they'll tell you.
Do you know that I know someone who has a favorite kid?
Really?
Openly says it.
Openly says it. She goes,
That's
this one's my
awful.
favorite. She goes, the other two are weirdos.
That's a leap. My kids are just at the age where they call us on our shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty
oh, yeah,
entertaining.
yeah.
I'm like, whoa. Yeah, you spot on with that one.
Right.
I do that.
Whoopsie doodle.
Yeah, that's a new territory.
Got me
Yeah.
on that one,
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
They're like, she's
Well,
not
supposedly
perfect.
you're doing a good job parenting if all the other kids think every other kid's your favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I saw on the Today Show years
Yeah,
ago.
makes sense though.
Yeah.
On the Today Show.
I don't watch it anymore.
I don't either.
Do you? Do you watch the news?
I don't. No, I don't.
Neither do I. Neither does Meredith.
So toxic.
So
Yeah,
boring.
it's terrible.
Adam, do you?
It's just.
Adam has to.
Yeah.
Really
He's in
have to for little for work.
Adam's in the biz. He
Yeah.
has to.
Yeah.
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 Adam,
And you
there's a
can't even
weather app
depend
for
on
that.
that either. They lie on that too.
I know. I look on my phone to see what the weather's going to be.
Right.
In 15
they're always
minutes.
wrong.
They're always wrong.
They're always wrong.
Well, you have to look at the Doppler.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at the radar.
You know, Florida's so crazy. My nephew sent me a video. So the guy opened up his front door and it was absolutely gorgeous out. And then he ran to the back of his house,
was
opened
pouring?
the door, pouring buckets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Our friends moved to Florida.
What do you think of Florida?
I like it. I like
And
it. I don't think I'll live there. He bought a house there.
what part?
The West Coast. It's kind of like near a little below Naples. I can't think of the name of the town now. because
Hard
I
for
have
you guys.
Alzheimer's.
If you guys, it would be hard for you guys, wouldn't it though? To like, if you told
'Cause
all
I-
your kids and grandkids,
we-
we're going to Florida for 3 months, they would be
They'd
like,
what?
I mean, we really truly miss our grandchildren.
Right. I don't blame
Because we see
you.
them a lot.
What do they
Notice
call
he
you?
didn't say kids.
They call
He
me-
said grandkids.
Yeah.
They call me Bopa,
And what do they call your wife?
Joma, because her name's Joanne.
Oh.
Who?
Yeah,
who,
it's
who came up with
interesting.
that?
I think
The
it
first
was my
kid.
daughter-in-law's.
Oh.
I think it might have been like
Joma and
Allie might have come up with
Boma.
Joma and Bopa.
oh,
I think.
Bopa.
Yeah, Joma and Bopa.
Might have been the kids. I love it when they come up with like
I
crazy names.
know. I've never had a nickname. I'm hoping my grandkid, whenever he or she comes,
Yeah,
can think of something for me. Other than that, I'm just gonna have to be Nana
Nana.
That's okay though.
Nothing wrong with Nana.
or grandmother.
Grandmama.
Grandmama. I can't wait.
I was listening to something and some comedian was talking about the names that the children give their grandparents now.
Yeah.
It's like this guy like stormed the beach of Normandy and they call him Poopsy and Tutu. It's like
So great.
so demoralizing. Yeah.
It's so true. Oh my God, I'm dying.
And the fact that he did that doesn't really matter to them.
No.
They could care
No.
less.
Yeah.
Is he
Right.
nice and give him candy and
Right.
Yeah.
pay attention
Yep.
to him, play
Yep.
cards with him, and
Yep.
Yeah.
that's about it. That's all
Yeah.
that matters.
Do you babysit a lot?
hmm
Like every day?
No,
Somebody's
my wife
dropping off-
does. My wife babysits a lot.
Yeah.
But she's semi-retired too. So
Yeah.
she works.
She
for my
worked.
son.
Did she work at the schools?
She did.
Yeah.
She worked here too, downstairs here. She worked
Oh,
in
she
the
did?
office. Yeah.
Oh.
She worked for the superintendent. But so she did 2 part-time jobs. She was a para at the school and she worked
Oh.
she worked here in the afternoon. That was a
There's
boink.
always the guest always bumps the
Yeah,
microphone.
yeah. I'm new at this.
Well, Alexa was a para. She loved it.
Was she?
Did
Yeah.
she work with Marissa?
I don't know.
She must have.
Yeah, Marissa was at Parkview.
Where was Alexa? Alexa was at the high school.
Oh yeah, that's
She
right.
ended up doing everyone's papers.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like, just give me a paper.
I'll do it for you.
She loved it until she didn't love it.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
she was, she wasn't meeting anybody. She's a young woman.
Yeah.
She, the money's not great.
Yeah.
No.
She really couldn't move out on that money.
Right.
So,
Yeah, well, if the money's not great.
and I'm like, wow, Alexa, that's kind of, that job's kind of for like a retired woman.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
for a young
Well,
girl.
she didn't get her own
Well,
classroom.
Marissa loved it too. The same thing. It was
Yeah.
the money. Was
And I said,
limited.
Alexa, why don't you, right. I mean, Alexa graduated UMass Amherst. I'm like, why don't you go on just for 1 year and you would get your master's in special ed? No,
Yeah, it was it.
I don't want my own classroom and I'm not dealing with the teachers and I'm not dealing with the parents.
Mm.
I said, oh, so that was it. So
Yeah.
then now she's in real estate and she's phenomenal.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think Joanne should get her license.
She doesn't
Real
have
estate license?
Yeah.
She'd like to. She wants to flip houses. That's what she wants to do because she sees, her son doing it.
right. They could be a team.
She does work with him now. She picks up the tile and stuff like that.
Oh,
she,
fun.
She goes there to make sure the subs show up, and she gets on their case if they're not there. And it's a great job for her,
You know what? So our team sells everything from mobile homes to $8 million homes. So we have an $8 million home with our team right now in Chestnut Hill, if anyone's listening. That needs to be sold soon. But anyway, so we have a client that was looking into a mobile home. And so we were helping her find one. And this woman and her husband were flipping mobile homes.
Wow.
And so we walked into one and it was glamorous and gorgeous.
Yeah, I've been in some that are.
I was like, wow.
My grandma lived in a mobile home.
Yeah, mine do too. For certain purpose, I've got an aunt and uncle in them, and for them it's perfect.
I don't
If
know
you-
why they
you
call
don't
it-
need to build equity.
Right.
A mobile home is perfect.
But
If
why-
you're 70, 80
Yeah.
years old, you're not looking to build equity in a single family home. You just want a little space.
Right.
And if it's a well-run park that's clean, they own the land.
It's great.
But I think a lot of mobile homes, you don't own the land.
Correct.
You don't, right,
And rent
exactly.
it?
You have to be careful with that, how long the land lease is
Yeah.
and who
Yeah.
owns it.
And I'm not sure why they call it mobile. Like the one we sold, it's not on wheels.
Well, most of them do have wheels,
Yeah.
but they put like a fake foundation
Yeah.
around
Oh,
the
well-
bottom to make it look, to hide the wheels.
Oh.
But you
Yeah.
can pull them.
Oh.
It takes very specific financing.
This one was a manufactured one.
Yeah.
And it's
Some of them are
beautiful.
so-
You
But
walk in.
also-
They
it's,
do the
it's like
double, in Clearwater, they do the double bolts.
Oh,
It's
double
two
wide.
together.
well,
double
that's
wides.
what we just sold, a double wide. So it was 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, eating kitchen, a family room with vaulted ceiling, central AC.
Well, and
Gorgeous.
now, right
Really
now,
nice.
with no
Beautiful.
inventory and people needing housing, they're a hot commodity.
Yeah.
Now, Massachusetts just passed accessory dwelling.
Right.
That's going to cause some big brouhaha. But basically, I could turn my patio shed, which I sat in last night because I was annoyed with people in my house, and I sat in there
Who
by myself.
specifically?
Yeah, let's get the dirt.
The largest human being
Oh,
in my
largest
house.
living-
Okay,
the
gotcha.
dog.
Right.
Until one of my children came out and go, Mom, where are you? Because the dog was just
They
wandering.
always find you.
I was sitting in my
You
shed.
can't hide.
But
Yeah.
now
But
I
you
could
can make
convert
that-
that to living space, and your town can't refute it. You'll have to fight them, as Bob saw, because somebody was trying to do that. But Massachusetts, the governor is coming down, and she's like, "You guys are going to open up your communities to more housing,"
Yeah.
and that's what's happening.
I'm trying to get
wild.
an in-law going in Foxborough, and they're fighting us. The town's
Yeah.
fighting us on it.
Not for long. They're not going to be able to.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like in-laws. They never have. I mean,
Easton
Easton
either.
didn't allow them.
Thank
Where
you.
are you putting it on the side?
So there's a garage, and
Yeah.
we're going to turn the garage into the in-law. But they're
what do
saying,
they care?
I don't know. I think
Like,
they're afraid.
no, what do they care?
Well,
think
this
the
was
issue
my
is-
question with you about renting a room. I don't understand either.
Yeah.
I think they feel like if whoever's living in the house passes away, you may rent that to
Who cares?
someone other than a family member.
Yeah.
I
And
know.
who cares?
I don't care.
Like, I don't understand why people have issues with this. It's not like you're building separate apartments. If I were to rent a room in my own home, I'm living there.
True.
Right? I'm sharing walls. Even if I were to rent my in-law, I am sharing walls with these people.
Right.
Meredith and I have been having this debate
Yeah.
because she goes, "What do you care if someone in your neighborhood is renting out a room in their house?" I thought it was kind of sketchy.
Well, depending on who they're renting it to.
Well, that's it. But Meredith goes, "What do you care who they're renting it to?
Yeah.
Well,
What if it's a pedophile?"
true.
Well, and not for
Well, that-
nothing, Easton has pedophiles that live here. We have
They do?
group homes that you don't even know about.
not in this
There's
town.
Section 8 housing,
say, Lord.
subsidized housing, affordable housing. We have all of those types of housing here in town that people don't even know the addresses to because they're hidden for a reason. Now, the sex offenders you can find out, but who, in your own dwelling, why do you care who's living in my house?
I know for some reason I care.
I know it's an instinct, but when you kind
I
of work
care.
it through, it's not
Right.
a big deal. And you're like, I guess it's not.
I see both sides. I really do. I understand why you would care. I do. But it's like, it's your house.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
The same
Meredith's point.
Yeah.
I don't know why I care.
And Airbnb is another one, right? You know who you hear from the Airbnb communities is the hotel lobbying community. That's why they don't want Airbnbs.
Right. That was the whole thing with taxis and Ubers.
Yeah, right, exactly. So you get to kind of dig deep,
Right.
It's, you know. And
Right.
and the reality of the situation is we're in a housing crisis for a reason because all of these communities, the municipalities in the state of Massachusetts and elsewhere have snob zoning. Meaning they're not opening their doors up to anybody else. So that's why the governor's coming in and saying, guess what? You're like the MBTA zoning is one of them. They're forcing it to create zoning for housing.
Meredith K. Keach, governor,
Absolutely not.
Massachusetts.
I like less control. I'm
But-
going to leave it at that.
It makes sense to a certain, once you start to dig deep and take a look at this type of zoning and why it's in place. I mean, you could have owned, in Easton, you could own, I have people who own, I have a woman who owns a 7-acre parcel. Guess how many lots she can get out of it?
2.
None.
1.
One.
Oh, none?
Really?
Wetlands?
No, frontage.
Oh.
She could do a shared driveway and access the land. Nope.
Does Easton have a mayor?
No. We have
We
town
need one.
administrator.
I'm
We
gonna-
have one right
If
here.
we
I'm
go
going to be
mayor-
electing
If
one.
we go mayor though, then we lose we lose the town election. That's a good forum for participation for people who want to speak up. You don't want to go to that form of government, my opinion.
Well, we have to go.
Yeah.
Your dad was in politics. He ran for what? What did he run for?
State rep. And he lost.
Against Ames, right?
Yeah. He was happy after it said
Right,
and
he was
done.
like,
He was like, thank God I
See?
never got into politics.
Universe gives you what you can handle.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
that's
he
true.
did stuff locally.
We have to go.
Okay.
Did you have fun?
I had a great time.
We
yeah.
didn't talk enough about construction.
I know.
That's all right.
I still have so many
That's
questions.
right.
That's fine.
It's fine. We
That's all I
had
talk about. It's all I think about. So
Well,
it's
there
nice
you
to talk
go.
about other things.
See, we had some nice coffee talk.
Bob said all you have to
Exactly.
do is show him a picture and he can make it. Anything.
Oh,
Right.
all right.
Imagine.
I can't imagine.
I mean, my kids can't even imagine. They're like, look at that.
imagine
he made
if-
that.
Imagine if you were married to someone
No,
like that.
I can't. But Bob says that he does it. He has to do it at home too.
I actually don't do much on my own house. As you can see when you drive by, it's falling down.
It is that is actually the opposite. That is not true.
There's not a lot of time.
Okay,
It's a
you have the
stunning
nicest
property.
house on the
Yeah.
street.
No.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Right,
It's
Bob.
Gorge.
All right, we gotta go.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, whatever.
And we didn't get
Bob.
to talk about your shed either.
Oh, you have to come back.
That's Marissa's
All right, you'll
shed.
come
the she
back.
shed.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Thanks
you
for coming
have
back.
to come
Will you
back.
come back?
on.
I'll come back.
Yeah, because we want to talk about when Meredith's house is
Do
all
I get,
done.
will I get paid next time when I
No,
come back?
No.
and we
Not
want,
yet.
And we want to see if Meredith has been a nightmare client.
Yes.
All right,
The
that's
answer is
all.
yes.
We'll talk about that.
Okay, bye, folks.
Goodbye.